Hey, Scott again. Part three, I think of five, is what I kind of have this peg down of from myth to conversation, kind of exploring how we game from generational perspectives. Um, Hopefully, this isn't the first video you're watching. Hopefully, you've seen the other two. Good interactions, and I like to keep it that way. I think this is a very interesting topic, and I am currently starting the outline of a research project, not for a paper or anything, but doing it for essentially a book on player psychology. I'm kind of in the vein of a couple of academic works about tabletop role playing games. So if you'd like to be part of that, comment below, and I will send you the information on getting an audio interview, audio only, no camera needed, and we'll just go from there. But I definitely need the audio so I can get a transcript and pull it and for research and notes. But yes, anyway, different thing. So in this one, we're looking at the hero's journey and how it went from like this monomyth of conquering to a tale about healing. And so you think about some of the iconic scenes that we have, like Luke staring at the twin suns. Very iconic. It's that preparatory moment before the adventure. Even though it's buried deep into the literature, the Fellowship of the Ring gathered around in Rivendell, ready to roll. And then you have Critical Role in their latest campaign. It starts off with them all sitting around and theatrically crying at a funeral. So at one point, every story began with a call to adventure. Somehow we went from slaying a dragon to healing a dragon. And let's figure out how we got there. I think first we need to understand each generation and how they made the approach to the call to adventure, that super journey. So you look at boomers, and they have their monomyth. I know we've talked about that. They do the hero's journey. It's the standard Campbellian version of it. That's what they embraced. They came up on. The hero goes out, does all these things, is challenged, and returns transformed. And transformed will be something that it kind of plays out over and over again in at least this episode, and as it, obviously across the tabletop, and how we interact with things and our expectations of things. There's the boomer monomyth is the chosen one. Only I can do this. I have to leave home. I have to face darkness. I come back better than I was. I come back bringing promises of moral order, cosmic purpose. The universe has rewarded the brave. That is how they have that approach to things. That is their design approach. You look at the games they designed, the media that they created, or that they grew up on, I guess, and that's really where they are. So, they went into the mythic structure, which faith and destiny, essentially. Everything had that purpose. Everything had a purpose. Then you get my generation, which are the Gen Xers, and we still have the monomyth, but we start chipping away at it because we can't help ourselves. And so we still think the journey matters. We still like the quest. We like things to have meaning, except we're willing to rub some soot all over those end results. So nothing is squeaky clean on the other end. That's just how we are. It's part of our cynical nature of how we grew up. Our heroes don't really find paradise, but they do find the cost of trying to make things right. Victory with scars, if you will. For the millennials, this is where we see the big shift, I think, is the millennials are in it for the healing arc. That quest is no longer... Secondary is the outward quest and the adventure you're going to go on. Primary is now that inward quest and the character. It's the interaction and understanding each other at the table. And I don't think it's character understanding. I honestly think they want to understand each other as people. And they use the game as not really a psychopompous because they're not going into the underworld, but we're talking about quests, so maybe that is it. Maybe they're using the game as that psychopompous to go deeper into the quest on their part and their version of the Campbellian hero's journey. Their monsters are trauma, and their treasure becomes healing. It seems like, so that's what where they focus in a lot of, and a lot of their APs. You'll see that as well, and how they structure their games. Let's see, empathy, found family, emotional growth. So I'm kind of all over the place. It's screen here and a camera up there and a few things, and trying to remain as natural as possible without staring at the camera like a future FBI's most wanted. Next up, we have Zoomers. Zoomers are really interesting because they will take everything and they will shake it all up. And they do this in every facet of their life because they think everything is just cyclical and episodic for them, and they're much more part of the meta than any other generation before them. But what is interesting about them is that while their journey is not really solid. It can be reset, it can be respawned, and it doesn't really bother them because, and I think it's a big because, I will say in my experience in watching APs and then playing with some Zoomers, their story isn't really a ladder to climb or they role play better than any other generation, which is gonna just ruffle a lot of feathers for some folks out there who are gonna see this. I'm sorry, they do 4D immersion role play better than any other generation because for them, it's more important to inhabit the world as their characters. I know other generations will do this role playing stuff, but when you watch it go down and how it goes down and you realize what is happening, it's more again, it's the Zoomers latch onto the meta much faster, probably because they've grown up with social media, such an omnipresent facet in their life, and they understand a lot better than than other generations too. But yeah, it's just it's very interesting watching Zoomers play. It's this sincerity and iteration on what's been built, and so they continue to do this cycle, and it's fascinating. So why does it matter? Well, if you're looking at a multi-generational table, or you're looking at designing some products for folks, or you're how to write adventures for people, or interact with at conventions or whatever, it's that the story, the shape of the story is important, but it's only because it's a mirror for how every generation undertakes the change and transformation. All these things are about transformation. It's how are you transforming at the table? Are you doing a cosmic transformation in the boomers? Are you doing a transformation of morality amongst the Gen Xers? Are you transforming yourself with the millennials? And for the Zoomers, are you transforming the meta story around you? So that's how it matters. You're looking at boomers, they believe in redemption. Gen X, we gave you sacrifice. That matters. Millennials want healing. And the Zoomers are, again, all about reinvention of things. It's just the world they live in. It's how they tackle things and make that approach. Look at some of the RPG products that are coming out and are out now that are aimed at a Zoomer generation of gaming. You see how the reinvention fits very well. Everyone wants transformation. It's just a different path that's being walked to it. I guess the biggest thing is when we're walking this path and we're trying to get to this transformation at the tabletop and understanding how the play works and how the world works and how we're interacting with it, and you're going to have these different approaches, and you're going to have these different character types that are being played, and it's just remember that you look at things as an onion or a parfait because they have layers that you're going to build from in out to that. And the inner core is going to be the GM. The generation that GM is going to matter a lot because that is going to be the core conceit of the campaign. It doesn't matter what setting they're using. It's how they're going to approach how they expect the adventuring to be done. And then you can work out with your generations from there. But just myths aren't replaced; myths are completed. Think of every generation as a turning of the world, if you will. If like the first age, the second age, the sixth world kind of thing, the third world. You pick it, however you best understand it, and can come to grips with that. I think it's important. I think it's important to be able to approach a table and understand. Oh, okay, this is sort of why, that person does this, and that's why the adventures are structured when that person is a GM. And okay, hopefully this is giving a better understanding. Like I said, we've only got a couple more videos on this. I do love the interaction, and again, if you want to be part of the research project that I'm doing, just let me know in the comments below. Until next time,